So our discipleship pathway at First United Methodist Church of Cleburne is that we gather in worship and community, grow through prayer and learning, and go to serve and invite. And so the GROW team took on this idea of how do we reshape our Wednesday nights.
We wanted to put a program together that was intergenerational, where we could get youth and our seasoned church members to get to meet each other, because we have different services, so not everyone gets to see each other and get to grow as a church community. And so we came up with this idea of the gathering,
where we would bring together for a meal children, students, adults with kids, and older adults, empty nesters, everybody, really the whole church.
We have put them in random assigned seating where we know that these members have not met each other before.
Different people from different places throughout the church could get to know each other and really come together and build relationships, so that we kind of felt like we were one body of Christ together.
And a lot of the feedback that we got was the fellowship, and that they met somebody new that they hadn't met before, and also even somebody they knew they got to know in a deeper way by just having a meal together. There's something to be said about sharing a meal and getting to know one another.
I think one of the big ones I actually just heard from one of the mothers of one of our students. He actually ended up being the only student at our table, but I heard his mother just the other day talking about how much he's enjoying it. He is getting to know children in his church. He's getting to know other adults in his church, and they're getting to know him. And so he now feels like he has a better connection, and he feels more like he's a part of the church now, because he's getting to know more than just the other kids his age, or even the adults that maybe taught his Sunday school class, but he's getting to know a lot of other adults and even other kids in the church.
Well, one of my friends, Bo, she got assigned at my table, and I got to know her in a deeper concept. And some of the other people I knew, it's just I never really talked to them. So now I have a deeper relationship with them.
One of our younger people wrote about how amazing it was to get to ask questions of members that have been in this church since they were baptized here and are now gray-haired and still loving this church, and that they realized that they never would have learned that history or heard our story of who we have been as a faithful United Methodist Church in Cleburne.
After that, we break out into our discipleship groups, and so we do that by kind of age and stage of life. So we have a discipleship group for our little ones. We call them the Sprouts. We have children who do their programming. They use the world curriculum. And then we have our older kids. They do something that's actually kind of interesting. We call them the gap, because they're kind of in that gap between the little kids and the students. They actually do a curriculum called The Creators that they watch, and it's about teenage kids who deal with life, and then they make their own faith-based movies. Well, our kids watch that and do a study off of that, and then they come up with their own idea, write their own movie, and then make their own movies. Our students break off for their own time, and we start with a time of praise and worship, and then we break up into high school and middle school. Our middle school is doing a Bible study, but using the Lego Bible, the brick Bible, and our high school is just doing a really intensive Bible study, not only reading it, but also learning how to read the Bible, how to take it apart and learn and look into things and play back and forth between the Old Testament scriptures and things like that. And then our adults, there's a couple of different options for our adults. One of the discipleship groups is watching The Chosen, and discuss that with Pastor Melissa. She leads that class. There's also another discipleship group that's a parenting group that they're doing a curriculum around parenting and doing that. And so we kind of have different things for different ages and stages and interests. And so we're trying to come together, but then also meet everybody individually where they are.
And one of the things I love so deeply is that it was so lay driven.
We meet during the weekdays and spend an hour to 2 hours. So I'm just really grateful for the commitment of church members to come and help grow the church on their own time, and it's just a blessing.
My experience has been how blessed our congregation is to have people who are willing to say yes, to have people who are willing to see a need and to meet that need.
It's amazing to see when you bring everyone together how we truly do grow and get to know one another and truly be a church family.
The church is the people. Simple song, right? But in a situation like this, you could see how each person who donates their time, who donates their efforts, who bakes a baked good, who mentors a child, grows our church both in depth and in numbers.
It's truly a gift to watch how this gathering has sparked so much relationship, and I'm so curious to watch how God will continue to use that.